Welcome back to Brainwaves. In today's episode, we will explore the fascinating topic of different forms of democracy. Democracy is a system of government that allows people to participate in decision-making processes. However, there are various forms of democracy around the world, each with its unique characteristics and structures. Join us as we delve into the 5 main forms of democracy and gain a deeper understanding of how they function and differ from one another. In this section, we will explore the definition of direct democracy. Direct democracy is a form of governance where citizens directly participate in the decision-making process and have a say in policy matters. In a direct democracy, people vote on policy decisions and proposed laws themselves, rather than relying on elected representatives to make those decisions on their behalf. This form of democracy empowers citizens to directly shape their government and ensures a higher level of citizen involvement and participation. Now let's delve into the key features and characteristics of direct democracy. One of the main features of direct democracy is that it allows citizens to directly vote on policy matters and proposed laws. This means that decisions are made collectively by the people themselves, enabling a high level of popular sovereignty. Additionally, direct democracy promotes transparency and accountability as citizens have a direct role in decision-making and can actively participate in the governance process. It empowers individuals and encourages civic engagement, fostering a sense of ownership and responsibility among the citizens. Now, let's explore some examples of direct democracy in practice. One notable example is Switzerland, which has a long history of direct democracy. Swiss citizens have the right to challenge laws through referendums, propose constitutional amendments, and even veto parliamentary decisions. Another example is New England town meetings in the United States, where local residents come together to discuss and vote on local issues. These are just a few illustrations of how direct democracy can be implemented in different contexts. In this section, we will explore the definition of representative democracy. Representative democracy is a system of government in which citizens elect representatives to make decisions on their behalf. It allows citizens to participate indirectly in the decision-making process by choosing representatives through elections. These elected representatives then represent the interests and viewpoints of the citizens in the legislative and executive branches of the government. Representative democracy aims to strike a balance between citizen involvement and the practicality of governing a large and diverse population. Now let's explore the role of elected representatives in a representative democracy. Elected representatives play a crucial role in this form of democracy by making decisions and enacting policies that align with the interests and values of the citizens they represent. They have the responsibility to listen to the concerns of their constituents, study and debate legislative proposals, and make informed decisions on behalf of the people. Elected representatives also serve as a bridge between the citizens and the government, advocating for their constituents' needs and concerns in public forums and policy-making processes. In this section, we will discuss the advantages and criticisms of representative democracy. One of the major advantages of representative democracy is that it allows for efficient decision-making and governance. Elected representatives, who are knowledgeable and experienced in public affairs, can make informed judgments and work towards the collective good. Furthermore, representative democracy provides an opportunity for political stability and continuity, as elected representatives serve fixed terms and can develop long-term policies. However, critics argue that representative democracy can lead to a disconnect between the people and their representatives, as well as the potential for corruption and oligarchy. It is essential to continuously evaluate and improve representative democracy to uphold the principles of transparency, accountability, and citizen participation. In this section, we will explore the definition of constitutional democracy. Constitutional democracy is a form of government in which the powers and limitations of the government are defined and protected by a constitution. It provides a framework that outlines the structure of government, the division of powers, and the rights and freedoms of individuals. In a constitutional democracy, the Constitution serves as the supreme law, and all branches of government including the executive, legislative, and judicial branches operate within the constraints set by the Constitution. This system ensures that the government operates within the bounds of law and aims to protect the rights and liberties of its citizens. Now let's delve into the role of the Constitution in a constitutional democracy. The Constitution acts as the supreme law of the land, defining the fundamental principles and values that guide the functioning of the government. It establishes the structure and powers of the different branches of government, such as the executive, legislative, and judicial branches. The Constitution also outlines the rights and freedoms of individuals, providing a legal framework to protect the civil liberties of citizens. It serves as a safeguard against the abuse of power, ensuring that the government operates within the boundaries set by the Constitution and upholds the rule of law. In this section, let's examine the concept of checks and balances in a constitutional democracy. Checks and balances refer to a system of ensuring that no single branch of government becomes too powerful and that there are mechanisms to restrain and oversee the actions of the government. In a constitutional democracy, each branch of government has the power to check and balance the actions of the other branches. For example, the legislative branch can create laws, but the executive branch can veto them. The judiciary can review the constitutionality of laws and executive actions. This system helps prevent abuses of power, ensures accountability, and maintains the separation of powers. In this section, we will explore the definition of parliamentary democracy. Parliamentary democracy is a form of government in which the executive branch is accountable to the legislative branch, known as the parliament. It is characterized by the concentration of power in the parliament, where elected representatives make decisions and govern on behalf of the people. The head of government, usually the Prime Minister, is typically a member of the Parliament and is accountable to it. Parliamentary democracy allows for a close relationship between the executive and legislative branches, fostering cooperation and effective decision-making. Now let's delve into the role of the Parliament in a parliamentary democracy. The Parliament plays a crucial role in this form of government as the supreme legislative body. It is responsible for making laws, representing the interests of the people, and overseeing the actions of the government. Members of Parliament, elected by the citizens, debate and vote on legislative proposals, hold the government accountable through questioning and scrutiny, and contribute to the formulation of policies. The Parliament serves as a forum for diverse perspectives to be heard and ensures that decisions are made in the best interest of the nation and its citizens. In this section, let's discuss the advantages and disadvantages of parliamentary democracy. One of the major advantages of parliamentary democracy is its flexibility and adaptability. The Parliament is responsive to changing circumstances and can quickly respond to the needs and demands of the people. Additionally, parliamentary democracy promotes consensus building and collaboration among different political parties, leading to stable governance and effective decision-making. However, one disadvantage is that it can sometimes lead to political instability, especially in cases where coalitions are formed and governments are subjected to frequent changes. Additionally, critics argue that parliamentary democracy may concentrate too much power in the hands of the executive, potentially compromising the checks and balances. It is important to strike a balance to ensure the functioning of a robust parliamentary democracy that upholds democratic values. In this section, we will explore the definition of presidential democracy. Presidential democracy is a system of government in which the executive branch is separate from the legislative branch, and the president serves as the head of state and head of government. In a presidential democracy, the president is elected by the people and holds significant executive powers, including the authority to propose and implement policies, command the armed forces, and appoint key officials. The president is responsible for the day-to-day administration of the government and represents the country in domestic and international affairs. This form of democracy provides for a clear separation of powers and a strong executive branch. Now let's explore the role of the president in a presidential democracy. The president plays a crucial role as the head of state and head of government. They are responsible for the overall governance of the country and the implementation of policies. The president represents the nation domestically and internationally, serving as a symbol of unity and leadership. They have the power to propose legislative agendas, sign or veto bills passed by the legislature, and command the armed forces. The president also appoints key officials, including judges and cabinet members. Their role involves decision-making, policy formulation, and the execution of laws, with the aim of serving the best interests of the country and its citizens. In this section, let's discuss the advantages and limitations of presidential democracy. One of the major advantages of presidential democracy is the stability and continuity it offers. The fixed term of the president provides a sense of stability, as the executive branch is not subjected to frequent changes. Additionally, presidential democracy allows for a clear separation of powers, with the president serving as a strong and independent executive. However, a limitation of presidential democracy is the potential for gridlock and deadlock between the executive and legislative branches. The separation of powers can sometimes lead to conflicts and challenges in passing legislation. Furthermore, critics argue that presidential systems can be prone to authoritarian tendencies if checks and balances are weak or undermined. It is essential to ensure a healthy balance of powers and robust institutions to uphold democratic values in presidential democracies. And that's a wrap for today's exploration of different forms of democracy. We have learned about 5 key forms of democracy: direct democracy, representative democracy, constitutional democracy, parliamentary democracy, and presidential democracy. Each form has its own unique characteristics, ranging from direct citizen participation to elected representatives making decisions on behalf of the people. It's important to understand and appreciate the diversity of democratic systems around the world. Democracy plays a crucial role in ensuring the voice of the people is heard and shaping the direction of a nation. We hope this video has provided you with valuable insights into the different forms of democracy, and remember, the more we know, the better equipped we are to participate in our democratic societies. Thank you for joining us on Brainwaves, and we'll see you next time.